building a business around that. Obviously, music's quite a saturated thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, I said not everyone can teach guitar, not everyone wants to teach
Yeah.
people a musical instrument. Like, when it comes to the business side of it, that's what I really want to get out of you, is
Yeah.
kind of squeeze you for business advice.
Okay.
Because there might be a few entrepreneurs listening to this who want to start a business,
Yeah.
who are like, I don't know how to do it, I don't know where to start. Obviously, you are, what,
27.
27?
Right now, yeah.
Had to get that right. You're 27 now, so that's quite young to run a business, especially one that is self-sustaining. Like, you don't have any other jobs.
No.
Right. So what are some of the things that you've been through when it comes to business, like especially the battles, things that you didn't realize you would have to do as someone who runs a business? What's sort of behind that?
So the main question is things I didn't realize I'd have to do.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Things that you're like, fuck, this is what it takes
Yeah.
to manage a business.
Yeah. So the biggest learning curve for me, especially early on, it's still a bit of a learning curve now because, I mean, like, I'm very open and honest about this. I'm absolutely terrible at maths. I'm terrible with the numbers. I'm terrible with anything that is to do with that side of life. Really didn't do well at it at school, yada yada. It's my weakest thing in life is numbers and maths, etc.
Yeah, I can't stand maths either. I'm not very good.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
I sympathize with you there.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure a lot of people do. I'm sure a lot of people hate maths, but so a big learning curve going into it was the whole self-employed thing, was the whole tax thing, was the whole managing your own money, paying yourself, putting enough money aside to cover certain things, whether it is tax or rent on an office space or for a rainy day if something goes wrong, or new gear, new equipment, or if there's like a pandemic, for example.
Yes.
Those kinds of things were the biggest thing for me because the teaching thing, like I say, was a little bit more of a natural thing, / I'd been doing it from such a young age that it was never really the biggest worry or issue or problem. That part, I kind of knew where I wanted to go with it, how to execute it, that sort of thing. And then, it was sort of just the building up aspect of it and dealing with the numbers, dealing with the money, treating it like a job where you're the only employee, so you pay yourself, but then you also have to cover all these other aspects along the way.
How do you have like a separate account when it comes to the business money, or does it just all come from you? Like, do you have like a separate business account, I'm assuming?
To an extent, yeah. Like, so within my own account, I just have like several accounts, like most people probably do, savings accounts, etc. I have within my own account, I just have like obviously your normal current account that everyone has, and then I'll have like a one that I use specifically for tax, and a one that I specifically use to put money in every month to then pay myself with and bills, etc.
Yeah, you had to mention tax so no one listens up on this podcast like he's tax evasion. Exactly. So what are the things that like obviously people don't understand? So one of the things that I always hear about entrepreneurs is when people want shit for free, or it's like mates rates and stuff like that. Like obviously Lewis offered you £5 to teach him guitar. Like that's minuscule, right? But he was good enough friend to do that for you. Now, I remember when I started when we originally had our YouTube channel, Thoughts in Motion. Right, so for those of you that don't know, me and Carl used to run a YouTube channel together called Thoughts in Motion. We had a couple other speakers on there as well, and we used to make motivational videos. It's the same channel that if you're watching this on YouTube, you will find the videos. If you scroll down quite a bit, you'll see Carl's lovely, beautiful, handsome face in there somewhere. But obviously, we started doing that, and I started giving out advice to people, and I started wanting to offer coaching. And people were coming to me and like, do it for free for the exposure. And I'm like, well, exposure doesn't pay bills. Exposure doesn't buy food. And it's like, if you want this advice, you have to pay for it. But people are like, oh, well, you're not established yet, so do it for exposure. It's like, yeah, but if the more I start telling people for free, word of mouth gets out there that I'm doing it for free, and people don't appreciate what they don't pay for. So that was one of the things I had to understand about business, and I'm quite grateful that I don't actually run my own business. I might in future, but right now I don't have the mindset for it. So things behind the scenes in business, like when it comes to sort of the leads and stuff like that, like what is it, how do you get your leads in? Obviously Facebook ads is a massive one, but what is it that brings in the most sort of leads for you? Do you have any strategies behind the growth side of it?
It's a number of things, and it's all based upon the longevity of everything. Right. So when I noticed everything started to really pick up, so let's say like I graduated university, and at the time I had, I don't know, maybe let's say 5 students or something like that.
Right.
And I was like, right, how do I turn this from 5 to, let's say, 30 or something like that? It was the longevity. It took about a year of building loads of different things online for people to actually finally kind of notice and pay attention. And then
When you say building
point,
things online, what things online exactly?
So, for example, there is various websites as a musician, as a tutor, that you can use to build profiles on, to create profiles on, which builds awareness. That all those websites have built-in SEO. So for like, you know, your keywords like Northeast guitar lessons, Gated guitar lessons, blah blah blah.
SEO is in search engine
optimization.
Right.
Just to clarify, I should clarify that.
Yeah. So what websites are those as well, in case anyone wants to jump on that? Any from memory?
So the likes of, I think there's one called Tutorful, First Tutors. There's review websites such as Free Index. Obviously, Google business profiles are really important. I used one really early on called My Guitar Lessons as well. There's a number of them out there. I can't remember them all. That's a few right there.
Right.
But yeah, so the way that I built it up was I would go out and find as many websites as possible that I can make profiles on for free, put all my information up, put all my photos, videos, whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
Set all that up. If some of them were cheap enough to like upgrade to like some kind of membership that would give you more exposure, etc., I would upgrade it, because you've got to invest money to make money, of course. So it was between that, building my own kind of YouTube channel with guitar orientated videos, whether it was just kind of guitar covers, etc. Obviously, really valuable, really important to every business ever is your own website. So create my own website, building that up is again based upon SEO, etc. Google business, building up reviews as much as possible from every single student that I could get a hold of early days when that wasn't many. Obviously, all of the social media on top of that. And what I noticed, what happened at least to me early on, is once you've built all of those things, which does take a while, so that doesn't happen overnight. Like, it could take weeks to slowly build all these things, put them all together, get all the content up there and out of there. After that point, it's just a case of monitoring it all. So maybe like updating things here or there, especially a website, because your website always needs to be updated, again, especially because of SEO value. What happened for me at that point was I started off with 5 students, and it took ages and ages. I'd get one student here, one would disappear, one here, one would disappear. So it would kind of go up, back down, up, back down, up, back down.
Right.
But then slowly but surely, because I built all those things, the SEO value, or the social media kind of value of it, would grow and grow. And I'd got to a point where I didn't have to like put as much time or effort into like reaching out as much as I used to, in terms of like trying to like really physically push guitar lessons. It got to a point where, for example, my website would be at a good point SEO wise, that people would find me through Google and would directly contact me, instead of like kind of being the other way around through social media groups or whatever it may be. So yeah, that leads wise, it's all of those things combined, plus the longevity of it, being patient with it, building it to a point where all of the time, money, and effort you've put into it kind of like, it's a return on investment, essentially, whether it's money or time, whatever it may be. It returns that back to you eventually, and I'm fairly certain this can be the case for most businesses, not just like what I do. But other than that, there is a really cool website called Bark, I believe, which again you can make a profile on, but they actually specifically give you leads, which you can access.
What is that?
as well.
BARK? Or
Yeah, like dog bark.
woof woof. Amazing. So obviously, jumping off the social media side of it, obviously social media is a massive part of any business that's getting made. I personally find it really difficult to grow social media. Obviously, we here at the gym, we post reels like every day, like twice a day. I post no one, so I'm on reels constantly. My life has now become editing reels. Like this podcast will become reels. So when it comes to social media, obviously, I want to get into have I got the name right? Redton, is that correct? Yeah. So obviously, you are also, as well as teaching several people how to become the next Brian May or whatever. You also run social media marketing for a few small businesses. So obviously your expertise with social media came from you doing your own profiles, correct?
Yeah.
So how did you translate that? What made you want to do that for other businesses? What made you think you had that skill set to do that?
I just realized that, again, everything for me has to come from like a place of enjoyment or passion or whatever it may be. So I realized that because I did it so much for myself, and I still do it for myself, like I do genuinely, for the most part, enjoy the process of putting content out, building content, building social media.
Yeah.
I really enjoy the idea of like putting time into it and then seeing again that return on investment in whatever way. Whether you get new inquiries, new likes, new followers, comments, reviews, all those things where it's like, oh, I can see this actually working, this actually doing something, it's growing, it's doing what it's supposed to do. So I really enjoy that. Plus, like, I've always been kind of passionate about small businesses in general, I guess. Like, whether it's like restaurants or whatever, like, I really love the idea of small family-run restaurants versus like franchises, etc. And I believe the world should have more of that and be more like that rather than huge corporations, essentially.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like those things combine, and I was like, maybe I'm pretty good at this. And I did work. I took time out of music. Not I say time out. I still did music, just a little bit less, to work in kind of digital marketing kind of role, SEO role, content role, full time, because I kind of actually wanted to take that time to like work in it to get that experience and exposure to it more so than I'd ever had in the past from being self-taught in it, essentially, because that's all ever really was. It was being self-taught. So yeah, when that kind of came to an end and I came back to a crossroads on where to go and what to do, it's very much like, okay, I know I can do the music. I'm going to keep doing the music because I'll always love it and I'll always do it. But also, maybe I can try this other thing because I've got this new experience and this new kind of found love outside of music as well that I can adapt and apply in different ways and help other people, essentially.
Nice. So what is it you think that small businesses specifically are doing wrong when it comes to their social media?
Yeah.
Like, so obviously you go in and you do X for them to grow their social media brand. What is it that you think they're doing wrong when it comes to small businesses?
The most important thing that I've noticed when I look at various social medias, whether it's restaurants, takeaways, or whatever it may be, that's a lot of what I tend to look at, to be fair. But
just specifically restaurants.
Let's say like restaurants in this example, I guess.
Right.
So it's interaction is the main thing I've noticed, really, and I feel like it's really valuable. Like, the reason that I've gotten to the place that I am with like teaching and things like that is because I'm so responsive to all of my students, like whether it's text, email, commenting back or replying on social media, making sure you say thanks for everything, really appreciate this, really appreciate that, thank you for the time, etc. And basically, for whatever reason it may be, whether it's like these other businesses just don't have enough people, they don't have enough time, maybe the older people. Not to say that older people can't do these things, but we all know that if we're talking about a certain generation, they would struggle to understand the concept or how to actually attack the situation.
Well, there's probably a lot of restaurants and places that are still doing things the old way, where it's like, obviously takeaways are fine. You get flyers through the door, they put the menu on. That's fair enough, right? But a lot of like businesses are still trying to do stuff the old way. They're still putting stuff in the fucking local paper and stuff, like for adverts and stuff. Like, it's far more probably productive to have social media ads running. So if you can do that for a business, that's a massive skill. So that's one thing I've noticed that a lot of people ask me to do at the minute. Obviously they see my content, they see the reels that we put out, like me and you especially, they see the reels and they go, I need that. Like, what can you do for me? So for an entrepreneur as well, it is vital that if you have that skill to be able to edit reels, edit TikToks, edit YouTube shorts, edit any short form content, because long form content's good. Like, this podcast is long form content, but the most views are probably going to come from cutting this up into 30-second clips, because that's just how it is. People's attention span are so shit at the minute. So if you're not going to watch a 2-minute advert on what food a restaurant has. You're going to watch a 8-second clip of what's inside a burger, just like this burger just folding together. You're going to watch that.
So the most important aspect in that I've realized is short form like that, but also like such a simple concept. And to come back to the point I was making before, but like behind the scenes stuff, like showing how you make food, showing how you put it together, showing the ingredients that goes into it. Once you've posted that, posting things where it allows people to interact, so whether it's like a question, a poll, a thing where you can like press love or like or whatever.
Do you find that helps the page grow the interaction from people?
Yeah, in a way that it like creates an ongoing conversation so that people actually enjoy looking at your social media page, which in return, again, we're talking about the long-term thing here. So long-term, say for example, if someone comments on something and you literally just take 3 seconds to comment back saying, oh, thank you so much for coming to my restaurant, I really appreciate it, I hope to see you next time, see you soon, that sort of thing, that will drastically increase the chances of that person coming back versus not replying at all.
Well, it's a personal touch.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
It's a personal touch
Yeah,
that
yeah.
people love. People want
That sort of thing. All it takes is a short period of time to show gratitude, to show thanks, to interact with people. It creates that impression. You know this from being a waiter in the past.
Yeah.
Creating that first impression is the most important thing.